Alright, so the player can die, and we got home, player can win. So let's do this. We're going to do, up here, we got to bring in another function within Unity. So Unity, I think it's engine dot scene management, so that we have access to all of that. And then we also need using Unity editor dot, actually using the engine dot UI. We can type these here because we're actually accessing more functionality within the engine than what we once had by the standard template. Alright, and what we're going to do is just going to build all, and then we're going to spend just a couple of minutes creating some new scenes. So I am going to create a new scene. Well, let's save this scene. Create a new scene, and this scene we're going to start setting up our UI to a degree, and we're going to go to UI, and we're going to set up some text. This is our text. This is what it looks like on screen. And the other thing we need to do is I need to actually set up my display for what I wanted, because I haven't done that yet. I haven't done it in the main scene. So let me take a look. I'm going to go ahead and just save this. Save scene. I'm going to go to scenes, and I'm going to save this as my main menu. And this is what we're going to do. We're going to go to scenes.
So you swap scenes altogether?
Well, no. What I'm doing is I'm creating another scene for my main menu, then another scene for my win and then my lose, and my instructions. But I have to create those scenes because I'm not putting everything in my main scene. We're going to, once your player's ready to play, they hit a button and it'll bring it up. But what I want to do is this. I want to go to my build settings, player settings, and I'm going to set this for the smaller HD size. So we're going to do 1280 by 720, and then default is native resolution. I'm going to click off of that, and I'm going to type in 1280 by 720, and that is going to allow me to pull it up in here standalone, which is still a 16 by 9 ratio. It's just one of the smaller ones. So if we're playing this on the web, then it's not going to take up the full screen, which works easier if you're running through a website, which we could run this through a website through WebGL. And then that was it. I'm just going to save it. I want to do that one thing. All right, let's go back to our main menu because that should be set. Standalone. Cool. And then this is my text, new text. Now, here you can't copy and paste your buttons. Don't do it; they won't work. But text is really simple, so I'm just going to type roll a ball game. To make it bigger, we can change our font size. So let's change it to 100. It disappears because my area for my font is small, so we need to change the width and the height. There we go. Probably need to go a little bit. 600, 800, and then I can just move it in here like so. Now, if I want to change my font, your fonts can't be embedded on your machine to use them. If you want to use your own font, then what you have to do is this. And we're going to go to, just going to pick a free font. And let's say I'm going to use this one. I need to download it, show in folder. I need to unraw it or zip it. And then I need to go to and what I want to do, yep, there we go, is we're going to create another folder. We'll name it fonts. And I'm just going to drag that font into there. Once I've done that, where we see we have font Arial, I click on this thing here, this little dot. We pick our font and we have access to it. And then when you build it, it's going to kind of embed it and keep that font with it, but it's not using the fonts on your system. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And let's make this. And there we go. Now to create my buttons, very easy. We're going to go here to UI, button, UI, button, and then UI, button. And we're going to create 3. Probably need to name this. So here, I don't think I need all of them. We're going to name this one Play Game. We're going to name this one Instructions. And we're going to name this one Quit. And we're going to move that down here. We'll move this one here. Kind of get it all nice and centered. We'll move that one there. And we'll move it down. Now if I hit maximize on play here, that's what it looks like, and that's not half bad. I can scale up my buttons a little bit, so I can scale them up. That shouldn't affect my interactivity. And now if I want to change the text inside of the button, we have text here, and I'm going to name this this should be Play Game. I can change my font, and then I can say let's make this 30 and then black. Here same thing, this is under instructions. We'll make it black. And then the last one, Quit Game, color black, and there we go. Now those are my buttons. There's no functionality right now. We haven't done that yet. But what I will do eventually is use this first one as a template for my other ones. I guess, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. It's not going to take me long. And I know I'm throwing a lot at everyone today, but I do want to kind of get a little bit caught up. So what we're going to do here, buttons. We'll just name it buttons.
Is it prefab?
Well, no, it's not a prefab. Is the whole canvas thing is built in. You can prefab your buttons, but they really won't work the way you think they would. So that's why I always found it easier, especially for very simple things like this. I create one, like I'm going to put all of my behaviors and my buttons in one script, and then we'll call it up for per each button, and then I just create, kind of use my main menu as a template for the other ones. And what we're going to do is this. So buttons, we're going to double click, and we have to create some public functions for each button. Even though we don't have everything quite working yet. So for this, I do need to, and I can just copy here. We can take our scene management. We will need that in our buttons. And what we're going to do, we don't need start, we don't need update, but we will need to create some public functions. So void, we'll name this play the game. We'll close that. And it's essentially what's going to be is scene manager dot load scene, and then we're going to have to pick in here our build settings, what build we're going to pick, and then how we're going to load the scene. So let's say here, if this is play game, I'm going to make an assumption, and I have to remember it, that this will be after instructions. Our builds are all in an array, so the first main menu will be 0, instructions will be 1, play game will be 2. And then load scene mode, which I do forget, and we want single. And then I'm going to do, instead of play the game, instructions. And all these need to be public functions, so I need to put public here as well. And that will be 1. Eventually we'll need to be able to go back to the main menu. That will be 0. And then we're going to need to be able to quit the game. And I'm just going to put in the quit function for actual exe. And then we don't use this for it. We do application dot quit. There is one to do it for websites if they have JavaScript enabled, where we can call outside JavaScript, which will look, well, we'll do that one later because I have to remember it. Okay, so we have play game, instructions, main menu, quit game, and then the other ones in here will be win and lose. Since we already have here, quite simply, when we win, we have to pick what's going to be our win screen. So scene manager dot load scene, and this would be, I guess, win will be 3, and then load scene mode single. That's important. If it's additive, what's going to happen is it's going to take all of those assets from the scene that you're loading and put it into your current scene. So we don't have anything built to work that way. That's why we want load scene mode single. Grab that, and then if lives are less than or equal to 0, this will be 4. And I'll make sure I comment all this stuff in just a second. Alright, now to get our buttons actually working, you select the actual button, on click, click plus, and you're going to drag the button into this asset here. You're going to actually grab it as a game object. Now, we need to attach our script to all of our buttons. So a button, actually I'm going to do it all at once. So I'm going to select just the buttons, play game, instructions, quit, component, scripts, buttons. Now they're all a part of it. Now what I need to do, by doing that, it's going to read that, this is going to read the public functions that we've created, and then I just look for the name. So buttons, that's what I created, play the game. Instructions, we do the same thing, click plus, and this is just going to be a simple click. When you click on the button, it does that. Function, we go to buttons, lowercase b, because the big one we don't have, and I probably should name it something different, but that's on me. Instructions, and then quit game. Click on the plus here, quit game, look, drop that into there, the actual button game object. You have to have the script attached, and we drop in here, quit game. And we hit save scenes, and then I'm going to save this as another one. So now I'm going to go to instructions. I'm going to save this as instructions. I'm going to save as when screen, file, save as. Probably should have checked this to make sure everything works. Lose screen. And then for here, for this, all we're going to do in our text, if we lose, let's undo that. There we go. You lose play again, and we need some more height. And let's give it and bring it down. Now, you see how this has a box? Well, actually, it doesn't matter. Okay, cool. As long as they're in order. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to go to my win screen. I'm going to do the same thing. Scenes, canvas, text. There we go. And then for this, we're going to switch one of these back to main menu. So, or we can go to play game, or, well, yeah, let's do that. Let's switch play game to main menu. So play game. We're just going to switch this text to main menu, because main menu has play game, and then we just switch this here to buttons, main menu. Save it. I'm going to go back to the lose screen and do the same thing. Buttons, main menu. Cool. We'll save that. And then instructions, I'm going to hold off on typing the instructions, and the main menu doesn't really need to change. And let's get these loaded into here. So our build settings, as we said before, main menu is going to be our first object, and any object that's the first object in an array is always at 0. It's not 1. And then we're going to put in our instructions. Our current build that I have, which is this one, rollaball 2, and then win is 3, lose is 4, as in where they're located in that array. And it was save. Let's go to our main menu and let's test this. There we go. I'm not going to be able to win, but I know I can die. You lose, play again. Main menu, play game. There we go. Alright, so we have our UI starting to work. We don't have all of our UI. Well, we could let's go ahead and let's do a little bit more with the UI, and we're going to go back to our main scene, and we need to do this. So what we're going to do, game object, UI, and we're going to create some text, and we need to create another text object. This is going to show our health. Lives. And let's create one more text object. Coins. Alright. And then in our player, this is where we're going to access all of it. So in our player, what we have to do is use our Unity Engine UI to access those text features, and then tell those text features to be equal to our variables that we have created, but we also have to convert our variables to string objects. So let's go ahead and reference all of this stuff first. So we're going to create a public text, and this will be lives text, public text. This will be our health text. Remember, I can't name the same thing as health. That will give me an error. And public text coins text. Now we have to tell these what they're going to be equal to. And what we're going to do is, let's just do it in update. I was going to create its own little function, but we can take care of that in subsequent projects. So what we're going to do, we're still in update, is we're going to say that lives text is going to be equal to lives dot toString open and close parentheses. My coins text is going to be equal to how many coins dot toString semicolon. Now remember, my text that I'm showing is text. It's a string. A string is a text, so I can't take an int and directly display it on screen. I have to convert it to actual text, and that's what this toString is. And I can do that for a float or other things as well. And then there was one more. Oh, I didn't do health. I don't know why I have health in here. We're not doing health. Sorry, got ahead of myself. And we're going to hit build. Oh, that's right. One more thing I need to put in here. Dot text. There we go. And dot text. I forgot that part. All right. Now here, let's delete health. We go to player. I'm going to click on that, and then we go here back to our script. We have our lives text and our coin text, and I'm just going to drag these over to these spaces right here, and now they're referenced. They're small, so let's go ahead and take care of that. Let's change our font. Let's make it black. Let's change the size. Probably have to change the size of these. And then let's make it so they're not on top of one another. This here is just my rect. And I'm sorry, it's the actual size. Let's make it 100. And this one 100. as for the height. Now we're not going to see it until we hit play, but we're going to put this in the corner, and we hit play, and we have that. Now we have an issue here. It's showing us the value and it's incrementing, but we don't know what it is. So this is what we're going to do. We have here our toString, and what we're going to do is just add in some actual text and then have it plus our toString. So we're going to do open and close commas, change this to lives plus, and we're going to put a little space there, our lives toString. I'm going to do coins, I'm sorry, quotation marks, plus how many coins toString. And we'll put a little space there so that this is not right beside this in our UI. And we hit build all. And there we go. Cool. So, questions? Huh? Print this? Yeah.